let's go ahead and do this paper. If you're not too sure, you haven't seen the question before, let me know. All right. Okay, so what do we have here? Numbers in algebra, measurement, geometry, and statistics and probability. So which topics here have you done or not done? So I can get an idea of what to teach.
I've done algebra.
Okay.
I haven't done more.
Okay. What about like shapes? Triangles?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about like statistics, like mean, mode, median, range? Doesn't ring a bell?
I've done this for like a while. It's been
Okay.
like,
Okay.
I can get my head around it easily, but it's just,
What about anything like probability? You got a bag of marbles and you put your hand in and you grab a like red marble out.
yeah, I've done that before.
All right, so let's dig in. So, alrighty, okay. Which one of the following is not equivalent to 18a squared b squared? All right, so it says not equivalent. What does not equivalent mean? It means it's not the same. Okay, let's start off with a. What's 6 times 3?
6 times 3 is 18.
Okay. What's a times a?
1, 8.
A squared.
Squared, yeah.
And what's b times b?
B squared.
Okay, now is that the same as that?
Yeah. No.
No, it is. It is. It is. So that's not the answer because we're looking for an answer that's not. Yeah. What about this one? These two here, they are like terms,
Yeah.
and if they're like terms, you can add them. So 11 plus 7 is
18.
18 a squared b squared. That's the same thing as that. So this is not the answer as well. What about this guy over here? 2a squared times what's? Do you know how to solve this? It's a little piece here.
Yeah, is the 3 and the b are together and squared by itself?
The squared would actually square everything on the interior.
Yeah.
So the squared here would go to the 3 and the squared will go to the b. So it will become 3 squared b squared.
Yeah.
By index laws, okay? So what's 3 squared?
3 squared.
Yeah. What's 3 times 3?
3 times 3 is 9.
And what's 9 times 2?
So 9 times 2 is 18.
What a calculator. Look at you go. 18 a squared. So it's first lesson. So I just want to see like where's the bowl game here, like how good you are and stuff like that, okay? But regardless if you do 5.1, 5.2, and 5.4, I'm just gonna like push you until you get it, okay? So this is not the answer is this one here. But how do we prove it? Even though we know that ABC is busted up, we have to show that at least let's think about it. What's 9 squared?
So 9 times 9
is what? 81. That's it. And that is not the same thing as that. Good. All right, I don't know if you've done perfect squares. No, I don't know if you've done perfect squares. That's the issue.
No.
So if I'm going to write a formula down right now, you just tell me if you've done it or not, okay? So this is called perfect squares. Perfect squares is a plus b, all squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Have you seen that before? Now, the good news is there is 2 ways to do this, okay? The first way is the shortcut, which is called perfect squares. The other way is you just duplicate 2 of them and you just expand it out.
I feel like I've done it.
Okay.
But I've never used this. I've never seen like these questions.
No, this paper's from a selective school. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like then this is not your ordinary walk in and solve it. We're not doing 3. That's 5.3. We could do this as non-linear. But again, I just need your interpretation. If you've seen it, we can try it. If you haven't seen it, then I have to at least try to explain it to you so you can get like some grasp about it, okay? So the good news is we don't have to do it this way if you don't know. We can actually do it the long way, okay? So if we have to do it the long way, it would look like this. If you have 4m plus q squared, well, that squared means I have a duplicate of it. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the same thing as saying 4m plus q, 4m plus q.
Yeah.
Now, would you know how to expand this?
Yeah. Like add it together.
Like
Make it smaller.
well, cleaning it up, expansion, right? So this would what am I hearing?
Plus 4 and 4.
Well, it will become that times that, that times that, that times that, that times that.
So it'll be like 4m
times 4m. Yeah, good. So let's follow through. So 4m times 4m, what would that become?
16 squared.
Yes, good. Now the next part, 4m times q is just 4m plus q. 4mq, okay? So it becomes plus 4mq. And what's q times 4m?
Q4.
M or 4mq again?
Oh, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it's like logically speaking, 3 times 5 is 15, but 5 times 3 is also 15. So that's the same logic. So you can actually rewrite it as 4mq. And then lastly, q times q.
Q times Q is just Q squared.
Okay, good. Now, looks good. We just now have to clean it up. This part here, there's no other common parts. So we just write 16m squared. This guy here at the back, we'll just leave it alone. But these two here in the middle, 4mq plus 4mq becomes 8mq.
But you don't do squared when it's plus. You do
No.
times.
It's only when it's multiplication. That's right. Now, if we look closely, okay, this is when it's a bit tricky because we haven't solved anything yet. The question says we have to try to match this guy here to this guy here. Okay. This is a lot. I don't know. This is definitely not going to be in your exam. It's a lot. If you're able to understand this confidently, the algebra in your class should be like easy peasy. Because the fact that if you could get this, that means you should be like topping everything in your class in terms of algebra. Okay. I'll be right back. Think about it. I'm just gonna get water. Do you want water?
No, thanks. Thank you. 16m squared plus 8mq. 16 plus 8, which would be 24. No, yeah, should be 24. Then Q is Q. Q and Q is that gone? Was it?
Sorry about the delay. Right. So any ideas?
I realized you plus 16m squared by 8m and q.
Yeah.
It end up being 24m.
Oh, I wish that was true. It's
Wow.
just that this guy here is
Yeah.
not the same thing as this guy.
Yeah, with m and q.
If we look at these two pieces here, the first part we leave it alone. It's similar. So we need to somehow match this guy with this guy. So what we do is it's kind of like a problem inside another problem, unfortunately. Okay. So what you're gonna have to do is you go negative 24m equals 8mq. Now, before I move on, is that clear?
Yeah.
Because you know that if this guy here in the green is actually the same thing as this guy, technically by definition, this part here, it should be the same thing as this part here. All right, so how do we make Q the subject? Well, Q, we can divide everything by 8m. Divide this by 8m. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now, what's m over m?
Just m.
No, actually, just cancels. No more. What's 2 divided by 2? 1.
Yeah.
What's 3 divided by 3? 1.
One.
What's m over n? 1. Now, what's 20?
Did you make it 1 or just leave it?
But technically, there's an invisible 1 there.
Yeah.
Because if I write x, well, technically, there's 1x, but we don't write the 1.
Just leave it.
You just leave it like that, yeah. The only time where you need to actually include a number is anything greater than 1, like 2x or 3x, okay? So, now we've done that. That cancels off, that cancels off. What's 24 divided by 8? You need a calculator, man?
I was going up already. I had everything, and then one day I leave it.
It's alright, it's alright.
3.
Now, and 3 times negative 1
3 times negative 1.
is negative 3. Okay, so that means, therefore, we're almost at the finish line now. We're almost at the finish line, okay? I know it's a long question. This is multiple choice. This is already hell, okay? So Q is negative 3. Okay, so we can box that. Now, let's get rid of the answers that don't have Q is going to negative 3. That's positive 3. That's positive 3. Game over, game over.
Yep.
So it's one of these two. Okay, it's one of these two. Now, we've done this part and this part. I'm happy with that. Now, the last part we need to do is this part equals to this part. Okay, so do we have an answer for Q? Yes. So what's negative 3 times negative 3?
Negative 3 times negative 3 would be negative 9.
Positive 9.
Positive.
Because two negative numbers,
Yeah.
positive, so that means that's the answer.
Uh,
Holy moly, right? For one question. But look, even if you're not doing 5.3, it doesn't matter because the algebra I'm teaching you would exceed you so well in the class you're in. Okay? It's heaps because the fact that you're doing this level of algebra should make you much more compatible to what you do, okay? Again, before I move on, exactly.
We'll get there. It's weird, but
It's probably the algebra you don't see a lot.
yeah, I don't see it a lot.
Okay.
But it's clear. Like
Okay.
2-3 more times full time.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Because what I usually do for homework is that you won't get new questions. You just redo the questions again. So you just like kind of get the idea.
Get in your head.
Yep. And the way I do homework is that you don't do it immediately because, once this lesson's finished, you go home, it's still fresh in your head. It's like, oh, Daniel taught you that P is this, Q is that. It's still lingering in your head. To improve memory, you actually don't do it until like maybe 3 or 4 days later. And that's how you test yourself. Your memory is good.
See if it's still good, yeah. Just keep on getting it refreshed in your mind.
Yeah, so, for homework, I'll save this into the chat. You just download it. The video is uploaded as well.
Write
And
in my book or something.
yeah. Okay, so what about this topic is called proportionality. Proportionality is about if one increases, another one increases. Have you done anything like that at school? Proportionality? Okay, then we skip it. It's fine. We definitely skip this. That looks horrendous looking at that.
Yeah.
What about index laws?
Not a bit.
Okay, I'll guide you through this one, okay? Right. So let's copy the question here. 3x times 8x over 3x times 27x. The trick is the 3 is a prime number. Do you understand what a prime number is?
A number like
It can't times anything else besides itself or 1. Okay, so 3 and 2 are prime numbers, but 8 and 27 are composite numbers, which means that you can get other numbers, put it together to give you that, okay? The trick to this question is that you need to break down 8 and 27 to numbers similar to this such that you can mold them. Right now, you can't mold them at all. So
the high.
we could divide it. We could find numbers that multiply at the same time to give you 8, okay? So I'll guide you through it. The 8 here, you can't do anything with the 3, but you can do something with the 2. You must ask yourself, how many times do I have to multiply 2 in order to get 8? Well, what's 2 times 2? And then times 2 again?
6.
Or even 8.
Okay,
so that means 8 can be transformed into 3 to the 3x.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 2. Now let's do the same thing with the 27. Now 27, 2 can't go into 27 because that's an even number, that's an odd number, but 3 can go into there. So I'm going to ask you the same question again. how many times do you have to multiply 3 in order to get to 27? So what's 3 times 3?
3 times 3 is 9.
And then what happens if you times 3 again?
Is it 9?
Yep.
3, 18, 20.
It's 27. It's 27, okay? So it'll be 3 cubed bracket bracket x. There you go. Now, what if I told you 3x over 3x is what?
3x over 3x would be 3x squared. No.
No, you're dividing. So, like, think of it this way. Think of it this way. What's 7 over 7?
7 over 7 would be
$1.
Well, yeah,
It's the same, right?
Thing, yeah.
So that means 3x divided by 3x is?
1x.
Okay, gone. What about 2 3x over 2 3x? Or just 1? So the final answer is just that. No, out of that ugly.
It's simple to have a calculator.
Yeah.
It's like basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, before I move on, any questions?
That was alright. That was smooth. I'm just rusty with like plastic stuff.
It's okay because again, I just need to see where you are. So we're not doing this. This is underneath a topic called polynomials. You just finished parabolas, right?
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So before we do this, I'm going to give you maybe a reintroduction to parabolas. Okay. So parabolas are y equals x squared. That's probably the format you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
But there is another format you can write this. You can write it as y equals a bracket x plus minus b squared plus minus c. Now I'll explain it. I know it looks a bit intimidating already from jumping from that to that, but I'll explain it. So have you seen this before?
Yeah, I've seen it. We've done it for the problem.
Okay, so
I want to be like I'm
okay. So in the inside, I'm going to throw some terminologies that if you don't understand them, I'll explain it. But inside the bracket, this is all about going left and right. And that's called horizontal translation. Horizontal translation. You'll get the hang of my writing as well, okay? Everyone complains about what my writing is. Okay. Now this plus c, this plus minus c outside, it's all about shifting it up and down, okay? So this represents the vertical translation. No, they're not dilation. Sorry, my apologies. It's translation. So in mathematics, translation means to move literally left, right, up and down, okay? Now, the trick is, if it's on the outside, not inside the bracket, you do it deliberately as it tells you. That means if it's a plus, you literally go up. If it's a minus, you go down, okay? So this is plus means you go up, but a minus means you go down. However, inside a bracket, you do the exact opposite what it tells you to do, okay? So that means inside the bracket,
you can switch it.
Yeah, you have to do the opposite. So that means you do the opposite.
Up and down.
So in this case, plus means this way, but because it's inside and it's opposite, you actually go to the left. Now, if it's minus, which is on this side, you do the opposite, which means you move to the right. Now, okay, let's have a look here. The parabola, which is this guy here, normally looks like this.
Straight for the middle.
Yeah, straight for the middle. But now you can clearly see it's moved 2 units to the right and 3 units down.
Yeah.
So which one would you like to solve first? Left, right, or up, down? Which one do you want to solve first?
Right.
Okay, so now we know that's positive 2, but on the interior it must be
-2.
good. Okay, so which one is -2? It's either A or B. That means Okay, now vertical is always exactly. So if it moves down, it must be negative. If it moves up, it must be positive. So this y is negative.
Yeah.
So it must be. No, it's actually direct. It's not opposite.
It's not opposite one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's on the
What's on the
outside.
outside?
If it's on the outside, it's as it is. If it's on the inside, it's opposite. Okay, so in this case, if it's moved down by 3 units, it must be this guy here.
That one positive 3.
Yep, so that's wrong. Oh, how'd you find that?
Oh, yeah, I was right. It was, nah, what's a parabola? I didn't do it this way. I've done it, when I do my booking,
Yeah.
I've done like different ways.
No, it must be like really simple. I don't know. Like, it might be something like y equals to like x squared
X.
minus 3 or something.
And yeah, I'll show you when I bring it. It's
Okay.
something like that. It's more easier than that.
No, okay. So
But that's alright. I see the way, like when it's outside, it stays the way it is.
Yeah,
When
and if
it's
it's
inside
inside,
the bracket,
it's opposite. Yeah.
opposite.
So I'll just write a quick note here. This is, I'll just say quote as it is, and if it's inside, it's opposite. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you done more than parabolas? Have you done hyperbolas?
No.
Okay, skip. So you only do parabolas. Okay. What about circles?
Yeah, we started circles towards the end.
So I'm just wondering how much of nonlinear do you do? Because in year 10, I'll list it right now, okay? In year 10, the type of nonlinear functions that you do, the first one is a parabola. Let me guess, you're in here again?
Yeah.
I got an unspecified room number. How many students do you have?
Just one. And these two don't go well together, do they?
Really? Are they like rivals or something? Probably mathematics rivals or something.
Like, yeah. They're related to each other. It's a good pair.
Because no, because the room number is not assigned to me. Technically, there's a room here. It's meant to be for another tutor, but she told me I could take it, so I presume everything's okay. But now Rav's telling me that I have to check.
Hey,
Let me
take
just.
your time.
Sorry, mate, we're being promoted.
Moving.
Yeah, we're moving.
You're C2.
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 Yeah, sorry, mate, we've been promoted. You know, if I kept my mouth up, we would have been still in here. But no, I have to be smart mouth, okay? Okay. The unfortunate thing now is that you won't have the notes. I'll just say what we have now, and I'll have to bring paper. I'll write the notes. You just take it home and revise. You just have to like call part 2 or something, okay? So before I go on, I'm just going to write a little bit more notes. So we have done the parabola. Then maybe you've done circles. The next part will be semicircles. I don't know if you go that far. There is also hyperbolas. And there's also exponentials. So it's quite a long shopping list. Now in 5.3, you actually go through all of it. As with what you've told me, it looks like you just do these two here. Because if you start at circles, I don't know how much your school will go ahead to do semicircles. It's okay. Let me just close that.
Once I bring the sheet in,
Yeah.
because I forgot.
But you know what the good thing is, now I have your contact on Skype. You don't have to wait 1 week to ask me a simple question. You can just ask me whenever you want, just not 2 in the morning, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Oh, not 3 in the morning, okay? Because I've got like current year 12 students. Man, they're like, oh no, help me 3 in the morning. I'm like, I need my sleep, okay? Okay, let me wrap up now. We'll head outside, okay?